Almost 10 years since we first launched Washington's Most Wanted. And tonight, we are celebrating a major achievement, and it truly is all thanks to you. 1,000 fugitives captured thanks to your tips to Crime Stoppers.
He is present.
After almost 10 months on the run, Jacob Clark appeared in an Everett courtroom last Friday.
Our capture was directly related to a tip that we got from a viewer who shared with us that they believed Mr. Clark was staying at a motel in the city of Everett.
The convicted felon was wanted for eluding police, bail jumping, and illegally having a firearm.
He's known to have guns in his possession, which makes him a threat to the public.
Clark had been staying at the Welcome Everett Inn.
He had used a buddy of his who's also a bad guy to rent the room in his name.
The facts of the case and the fact he had warrants outstanding for his arrest, I think, make it clear that whoever rented the room did so that he could avoid detection.
Now he's facing a new charge after the Violent Offender Task Force says they found heroin in his room.
Mr. Clark's a well-known drug dealer. I talk all the time about the heroin epidemic. And certainly we want to try to get people help that are addicted, but this is the kind of guy who's preying on the community. And in my mind, that is in the top 3 worst individuals.
This was a dangerous guy, a felon on the run.
Retired Detective Merle Carner says Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound will be paying a reward to the tipster who helped deputies locate him. Washington's Most Wanted first aired in November of 2008 with a mission of giving a voice to victims. 10 years later, Clark is a milestone capture.
1,000 bad guys off the street. 1,000 bad guys. That's a good number in anybody's book.
Among those arrests are notables like Michael Malloy, busted in Tacoma for violating parole after he killed his girlfriend.
Well, you're our 100th fugitive captured since we launched the show. What do you think about that?
Peace, love, and happiness, man.
Do it now! Do it now!
3 years later, we joined the Violent Offender Task Force for the arrest of Anthony Turner, a convicted felon accused of hitting an officer with a stolen Jeep.
Anthony, I'm David Rose from Washington's Most Wanted. You're the 400th capture. Did you know you were on Washington's Most Wanted?
Yeah.
A year later, your tips helped King County Sheriff's detectives catch our 500th fugitive, a level 3 sex offender wanted for raping a woman in Tacoma. Harvey Johnson was convicted and sent away. Our mission is to help vulnerable victims, people who've touched our hearts like Lila. The 85-year-old grandmother was attacked and robbed outside a grocery store.
He grabbed my purse so fast and we're going like this, and he got my purse and I fell flat on my face.
Your tips identified all of the suspects. It's the same justice you helped Carolyn get after a thief stole her tablet computer and her sense of security.
I was mostly angry because they scared me and made me feel unsafe.
I was there with her as she testified at the suspect's sentencing.
I forgive him and hope that once he has been held accountable, he will use the resources he has now been given to make a new and different plan for his life without criminal activity.
Now, Jacob Clark will have that same opportunity for redemption. He's being held on $75,000 bail, despite a plea from his attorney.
He does not have the ability to post that amount of bail. He's not working. He has absolutely no income. And he does have a couple of children who he is trying to financially support.
Clark joins a long list of fugitives who've learned the hard way that once you're on Washington's Most Wanted, there truly is nowhere left to hide.
Now we're on the march to 2,000, but we're celebrating the 1,000, and we want to thank you very much.
Washington's Most Wanted airs statewide each weekend in Spokane, Yakima, and the Tri-Cities. It's produced in Seattle at Q13 Fox, where Senior Vice President and General Manager Pam Pearson first came up with the idea to create a locally produced show that helps everyone.
If we take us back to 10 years ago, I think what really started with me was something very simple. We all want to feel safe. Our families, our pets, our friends, our neighbors, and I was thinking if we could do something to contribute to that as a television station, I think that would be a wonderful thing to do. And in addition, if we were able to utilize the community and bring the community together to work on a common goal, I thought that was a good thing too. And you know, America's Most Wanted was still on the air 10 years ago, and certainly we took a page from their book and said, what if we could do that locally? And here we are. But the thing that I was a little naive on was really, I think, what it would require in terms of the dedication of the staff here at the station. And so I had the idea, but it took you and all the other talented individuals to really bring this program to life, and the community. And I think if you were to look at the stars of the show, the community would really be at the top of the list.